Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T, and if true crime is your jam, and like me, you enjoy delving into unsolved cases, trying to figure out who done it, please consider subscribing. Also, if you find value in my content, please hit that like button. Jealousy is the jaundice of the soul. English poet John Dryden. According to Candace Bly's former friend, Allie Harris, she once heard Candace lash out at her mother, Candy Harer, or Candace as we like to call her, because she, Candace, was sad and crying over the anniversary of Candace's youngest sister, Rosemary's disappearance. Allie went so far as to say that Candace called Rose the B word, the one that rhymes with ditch, but starts with, well, a B. And it's my understanding that Jose Roman said he was also there when Candace said those things about Rose. It is believed that Candace was jealous of her mother's affections for Rose. And actually, that shouldn't even be past tense. It should be Candace is jealous of her mother's affections for Rose. It turns out that jealousy among Candace's three daughters, Candace, Jeannie, and Rose, was not uncommon. Rose's best friend shared some additional information with me about what she knew regarding Rose's mother, Candace, Candy Harer, and Rose's relationships with her two sisters, Candace and Jeannie. Remember, Candace abandoned her husband, Jim Bly, and their three daughters around the time the girls were in middle school and high school. Apparently, Candace showed back up in her daughters' lives around the time Rose was a senior in high school. Here's what Rose's friend said about Candace and about how Rose felt about her mother at the time. But yeah, her mom is not a good mom. I mean, she did come back after a while. I think it was like our senior year of high school. I remember Rose saying that her mother reached out and wanted to see her, and she, Rose, was actually pretty happy about it. End quote. So it sounds like Rose desperately wanted her mother back in her life, and she wasn't holding any grudges against Candace for leaving in the first place. But Rose's friend also said this: "For me, I was worried that Rose was just going to get let down again, because she was sad about it. I mean, who wouldn't be? But her dad and the love that he showed her to make up for her mom being gone was amazing. It made her sister very jealous." End quote. Now, when I read that last sentence, the one that says it made her sister very jealous, I thought that the best friend was referring to Candace. But guess what? When I asked the friend to clarify who was jealous of whom, she wrote this: "Jeannie was very jealous of Rose." End quote. According to Rose's friend, back when Rose was in high school, her sister Jeannie was jealous over the love their father, Jim Bly, was giving to Rose. So if we are to believe Rose's friend, and I have no reason to doubt her, it looks like both Candace Bly and Jeannie Bly were jealous of their baby sister Rose. Lots of jealousy floating around the Bly sisters. To me, it sounds like all three sisters were deeply affected by their mother's abandonment, and that they were all desperate for their fair share of their dad's love. Between being abandoned by their mother and having to vie, at least in their minds, for their father's love, some of the sisters, namely Candace and Jeannie, allegedly ended up feeling jealous of the baby sister Rose. Now, I'm not saying that this surprises me or even that it's unnatural. I mean, what siblings don't wonder at some point which one of them is mom or dad's favorite, right? I know I've done that in my family with my brother. In my husband's family, among his three brothers and himself, each one of them has said at some point that he was their mom's favorite. It appears that my husband's mother, who by the way was a psychologist, had the rare ability to make each one of her sons believe that he was her favorite. Too bad all parents don't know how to do that. But for Candace, Jeannie, and Rose, they didn't have their mother there throughout their young lives. So there was a deficit when it came to motherly love, and it appears that they felt they had to fight for their fair share of their remaining parents' love. Regardless of how it happened, and assuming that it did happen, it's very sad that Candace and Jeannie were jealous of Rose, and that Candace appears to still be jealous of Rose, even when she's been missing for 13 long years. Now, I definitely do not believe that her sister's jealousy led to Rose's disappearance, nor do I believe that Candace and or Jeannie had anything to do with Rose's disappearance. The evidence simply doesn't point in that direction. So let's not go running off now and speculating that jealousy was the fuel behind Rose's disappearance. I'm just trying to flesh out what the Bly household looked like and felt like when Candace, Jeannie, and Rose were growing up. Note that when I asked Rose's friend to tell me what she remembers about Candace, this is all that she shared. I don't know much about Candace. She wasn't around when we were friends. Rose didn't talk about her much. End quote. So I hope you found this video both interesting and informative. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. We are in the process of building a true crime family and community here, and I'd love to have you all be a part of it. Until the next time on Bed Crime Stories. Happy Easter, by the way. May the Easter Bunny turn up at your house with lots of chocolate and jelly beans.